12 million American children going to bed hungry every night. With 50 million Americans on food stamps, and with half the population of this entire country needing assistance from the government of some sort, whether it's federal, state, local, or churches, the fact is that half the country needs help with their food budget. We're in the throes of a worldwide famine, and this is the 7th year of the famine. And you put all of this together, we've got food shortages, we've got gas prices going extremely high. People can't, I got to tell you that the people that are on food stamps are not unemployed. A high percentage of those people are still employed, and they still need help because they can't afford the food. Now, at best, we have the best food on the planet. We intended to do it that way, and the reason that we developed the food that doesn't have all the added MSG, the imports that'll make you glow in the dark, and the genetically modified organisms that they still haven't figured out whether it's going to kill you or not. The fact is that the reason we made that is because we've been working with food storage for emergencies for about 30 years. And having done that, what we concluded was if we had to eat that stuff, first of all, it wouldn't taste very good. It'd be a huge problem to open 7 cans just to make one meal. And at the other end of things, would we want to feed our children and our grandchildren stuff that really wasn't very good and couldn't keep you healthy and wasn't enough food, and all of the various problems with that? So we developed some food that we loved ourselves, that we would want to feed our children and our grandchildren, that they could use, and that was clean and wasn't the stuff that'll make you glow in the dark, walk sideways, and one eye travel on the other side of your head. So, but the problem that we have with all of the difficulties in the country is that in a good month, in a high volume month, we could only reach about 2,000 people. 2,000 orders made a good month for us. Well, we've got 50 million people on food stamps. We've got 12 to 15 million children that go to bed hungry every night. American kids, not the ones that the movie stars, adopt. So what we concluded was that we had to have some help. Now, all sales is basically communication. It's referral stuff. When Coca-Cola advertises on TV, they're getting those little polar bears to get you to identify with the polar bears and how refreshing the Coca-Cola is. That's a referral. When you tell your brother, hey, I bought this suit, at a good store, does it look nice? You got to go to that store. Or if you taste some of this food and you say to your friend, you got to eat this stuff. That's a referral. And the interesting thing is right now, we have people that can't even afford to buy food. So what we developed was a concept that really, something that's been around for a lot of years and has never been used properly. It's called multi-level marketing, which for many people is just a dirty word, because it is not only the greatest success story for the number of millionaires it has created, but it's the greatest failure story because 97% of the people can't make it happen. My contention is that the main reason is that you've never had a product that really worked, so that if you take our food and tell somebody, eat the food, eat the food. You've never had a product that you literally had, everyone has to have, everyone likes, everyone wants, everyone needs. So we needed some help. We needed to take, in fact, there's a recording that I did on why MLM. If everyone would listen to that, it'd be a really good story for them. The bottom line is, and this is the long form, we could only reach about 2,000 people in a month. We needed help. So we're saying everybody likes the food. So let's have everybody that likes the food share some of the food and help other people to find us, and in so doing even the people that can't afford food now can earn their food, eat their food, and prosper. So we concluded, let's just prosper and feed American families. Anybody, if they're homeless, they can come in and share enough of this food so that they can earn their own food and earn an income and put themselves back financially in a good position, because what are we selling? A product that everybody has to have every single day of their life, and we just happen to have the best food on the planet in terms of flavor and in terms of safety. This food is dry. You're not going to have a recall of this because of E. coli or salmonella. Those critters can't live in dry food. So you've got the safest food on the planet, you've got the best tasting food on the planet, and it also happens to store for 25 years, so you can put together a savings account in food. So if you want to earn your food, you can earn your food, you can earn some income, you can save your food for the future, and you, by doing so, freeze the cost of the food and freeze the availability in a worldwide famine time when the Chinese and the Indians are competing with you to buy your food. So, very simply, the long and short of it is, we couldn't reach enough families. The greatest dependency we have is food. The extent to which you're dependent is the extent to which you give power over yourself to that on which you depend. If you're dependent for your food, then you've got a basic problem. Here's the interesting thing though. You can't do anything about the earthquakes. We've had a 600% increase in the last year and a half of natural disasters compared to the last 20 years. Okay? Very simply, you can't do anything about the political climate, you can't do anything about the economy, you can't do anything about losing your home, you can't do anything about losing your job, you can't do anything about the starving children. The fact is that you can take control of your greatest dependency, food. And you see, if you have food and you have a little bit set aside for the future, if you lose your job, okay, you've got time to find a job. So the most important issue in our freedom and our independence is our ability to supply ourselves. If you have to go stand in a bread line, you are dependent on those who have the bread. The best way to be independent, the best way to avoid the fear of losing your job, is to be able to be independent and have your own bread, which your job provides for you. You're dependent on your job, you eliminate the dependency on the job by having food. So the best way to be independent and never have to stand in a bread line is have your own bread. So the reason that we're doing this is to enable everybody in the country to help us to feed and prosper everybody else in the country. There's no other product on the face of the planet that you can do that with. And there's no other company on the face of the planet that will provide a product that is so perfect that you would not be embarrassed to share it with your mother.
You can serve GOFoods for $1 to $1.78 per person. The GOFoods motto is serve, save, share.
Are you ready? Do you have what it takes to not only survive hard times, but also thrive in them? In times like these, the most valuable currency we have is food and food reserves. It is more precious than gold, oil, and cash. Food is our greatest dependency, because when you're hungry, nothing else matters. You know it, and I know it. You can't control earthquakes, floods, or the real estate meltdown. But if you have food, you have personal solutions to how these things affect you. Register right here, right now, and order your 6 free meals so you can truly discover what the currency of the future and your freedom taste like.